Welcome to Season 3 of You Are Your Name. In this season, we're asking a vocabulary name consultant various questions on balanced names. Our guest today is Doria Delane. She is a name consultant at the Society of Vocabularians. Thank you for being with us, Doria.
You're welcome, and it's a pleasure to be a part.
Now, we balance names from people all over the world, and of course, we're using the English alphabet or the Latin alphabet for English to do it, but we have people that come from all sorts of backgrounds, and often they would like a name that sounds relative to their background. Can I get a balanced name that's relative to my cultural background?
Yes, we do base names on the cultural background when there's a need. What we do is review cultural names and we evaluate the mathematical combinations. And sometimes there's a recommendation with that cultural name, but it has to be slightly altered in its spelling because it has to match a particular mathematical combination. We understand different cultures have to have the link to their home environment or their background. And so we do research and we can offer names relative to your cultural background. And they are based upon the English alphabet.
Do you have an example of what cultures you have names for?
We have given names to individuals all over the world. And some cultures have specific names, and the selections can be somewhat limited. So that's why we do our research to try to comply with their need culturally and with their legal needs, because some countries do not actually allow changes of other cultural names. So we do take the time, we specialize to make sure that the names that are being offered would be able to be accepted by that country and that culture.
But again, it's going back to the English alphabet rather than using their particular alphabet. So they have to be
Yes,
conscious that it's balanced in the English language.
because it's a recognition that there has to be one language that you base a name on, but we can look at the identity of the name so that it has that connection to their culture.
Right.
But it has to be based on the mathematical principle of the English language, yes.
And there's some subtleties in every alphabet. And since we're experts using the English language, that would be the obvious choice.
Yes, because in other languages don't have certain symbols in them. And sometimes they may not have a W or a V, so it puts their lettering in a different mathematical relationship.
So, for instance, Spanish has an extra N, and then Italian
That's
doesn't
right.
have the J and the K. So their symbols are actually in different mathematical positions. So,
That's why we encourage an individual to really take the time to study the principles with their name change as well, because you can analyze your name in another language and see the influence. And many people see the impact of their culture. So they learn to understand what vibration is affecting them, but come to appreciate why it's important to have a fully balanced name based upon the English letters.
what we did analyze a lady who was Spanish, and the Spanish alphabet was changed in 1995. So we gave her a name report based on the pre 95 alphabet of the Spanish language and then the post 1995. And she said, "Oh, I recognize the that's the way I was. But after they changed the alphabet, she recognized that her personality changed." So she said it took about 3 or 4 years for her to see the changes because her name was using letters that were after the change of the letters. The sequences changed. So essentially, her mathematical formulas of her names changed because the alphabet changed. When you think about that, everybody in the Spanish language that had a name with a letter after that particular letter that was dropped, their formulas would change and therefore their thinking would change. Often their destiny would change.
Well, that is an evaluation that a person can do once they've studied the principle and understand how to relate to different languages. And it does show the comparison between the various influences and how language has molded a person's life.
Thank you, Dory. Appreciate your thoughts on those questions. Next week, we're going to discuss the question, will I lose some of my current abilities, strengths, or interests when I take on a balanced name? If you have not already done so, get your own free name report from our website at www.kabalarians.com. That's KABALARIANS.com. Once you have a name report, you can speak with a Kabalarian name consultant directly and get answers to your specific questions on your names and how they're impacting your life. The contact information is in the report. Until next time, happy thoughts. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways we can help you. Number 1, the Balanced Name Recommendation Service. Join the thousands of others who have harmonized their names with their inner potential to improve their health, happiness, and success. Number 2, learn the principles of mental freedom. Participate in our online training program to gain the essential tools to create all the progressive changes you seek in your life. These proven truths will open up new perspectives and accelerate your attainment of health, happiness, and success. Number 3, let Kalex Solutions help you choose a balanced name for your business, because many business names are an impediment to one's overall business success.